when you're subtracting mixed numbers, there's a couple strategies that we've been practicing, and we're going to go over those again today. The first strategy is pretty simple. It's just turning the mixed number into an improper fraction, and you're getting pretty good at that. So let's rewrite A. And by the way, we are not doing any number lines today. We are just practicing this strategy. And take 1/3 out of the parentheses. So 3 1/4 minus 2 minus 1/3. Rewrite it like that. I probably just wrote it way too big. Don't write it as big as I did. Okay, so now this takes me to 3 minus 2. What is that?
1.
So 1 1/4 minus 1/3. Since I've got a whole number of 1 that I'm dealing with, we're going to use the improper fraction strategy. So to make this right here be something I can subtract, because 1/3 is larger than 1/4, I will make this 5/4 minus 1/3. Okay, what's the new denominator? 12. Now I got rid of my 1, so I don't have to bring a 1 down because I did 1 times 4 plus 1 to get 5/4. So 4 times what, class, equals 12?
3.
So 5 times 3 is,
15.
and 3 times what?
4.
Okay, what is 15 minus 4?
11.
So 11/12 is our answer. That's pretty simple. No, I'm going on to B, and it's pretty much the same. How do I know I'm going to use the same strategy on B that I just used on A, Roman?
Because it's like the same.
The same whole numbers, right? The same whole numbers. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to end up with 1 as my whole number. Let's go ahead and start it and see. 3 2/3 minus 2, and take 3/4 and put it outside the parentheses. Okay, if you're still trying to write down number 1, forget it, because you're going to be confused. Skip over to number 2. You can go back to number 1 later. Okay, 3 minus 2.
1.
So I have 1 2/3 minus 3/4. And I notice that my second fraction is larger, so I have to borrow 1 from my whole
So
number.
it would be 5.
So it'd be 1 times 3 plus 2. 5/3 minus 3/4. Okay, same common denominator, isn't it? Three times 1 equals 12.
4.
So that would be 20/12. 4 times 3. So that would be 9. Seriously, we got the same answer again. Okay, give me fist to 5 on this particular way. We practiced it Friday, pretty much the whole time, didn't we? Okay, now going down to C and D, we're going to use a different strategy. Why do you think it's going to be different this time?
Because they're different numbers.
Well,
No, they're higher.
they're higher. What am I going to be left with here? Whole number of what?
2.
2. What am I going to be left with here?
2.
What about here?
5.
What about here? 1. So this one, E, will use the same strategy as before. So let's practice C. Now the first step is the same. Take 1/4 out of the parentheses. Stay with me, because this is the one that's a little different. Okay, so 6 minus 4 is,
2.
so 2 1/5 minus 1/4. Now, I notice that 1/5 is less than 1/4, so I'm going to borrow 1 from the 2. So right over here in your empty space, let's write 2 1/5, and we're going to decompose it. And what we're going to do is borrow 1 and turn it into a fraction. So if I borrow 1 from the 2, what do I have? Okay, write that down. And the 1 I borrowed, I'm going to make a fraction of 5/5. And then what fraction do I have left over?
1/5.
Okay, so here's what I need to write. I decompose that number, so I'm going to write 1 plus, I'm going to add 1 to my answer when I'm all finished. What's 5 plus 1? 6/5 minus 1/4. So this is kind of like a number bond. If I did this and put my circles there, it'd look like a number bond, wouldn't it? Okay, so don't forget, this time you're going to add 1 to your answer. So, new denominator, 20. Good job. 5 times what equals 20?
4.
6 times 4,
24.
and 4 times 5.
5.
Good. 24 minus 5. 19. So I have 1 and 19/20. So the reason I like decomposing that number and just borrowing 1 is because that way I won't end up with an improper fraction at the end that I have to change back to a mixed number. Just saves me a step. Okay, let's use the same strategy on D. 6 3/5 minus 4, and take 3/4 out of the parentheses. Okay, what is 6 minus 4?
2.
So 2 3/5 minus 3/4. And I notice that my second fraction is larger. So in order to subtract, I have to borrow 1 from the whole number. So let's do that little number bond that we just did, but do it with 2 3/5. Okay, I'm going to borrow 1 from my whole number, so that leaves 1. And then the one I borrowed, I'm going to make a fraction. What fraction will it be? 5/5. How do you know it's 5/5? Because that's my denominator. And 5/5 is equal to 1. So what's 5 plus 3 now?
8/5.
8/5. So I have 1 plus 8/5 minus what? 3/4. Minus 3/4. 1 plus new denominator is the same again, isn't it? 20. What is 8 times 4, Brady? 32. And
50.
I see some regrouping here. So you have room, and if you are unsure of what this is when you subtract, then write the standard algorithm. So 12 minus 5 is? 2 minus 1 is? Okay, so my answer is 1 and 17/20. Okay. All right, 2 more. How do you feel about this second strategy?
I like this way
It's-
better.
It's not quite as easy, but it's necessary. How's that sound? I know you do. But you have to be able to do the second one also. And so don't forget that number bond because it's going to help you. Okay? All right. We get to use the first strategy this time. I know that because my whole number is only going to be 1. So take 1/3 and put it outside the parentheses. Okay, so 1 2/7 minus 1/3. Now, this is the same thing as borrowing 1 from the whole number. It's just that there's only 1 left to borrow. So this would be the same thing as 7/7 plus 2/7, which would be 9/7. So 9/7 minus 1/3. 21 is the denominator. You guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Times 3. What's 9 times 7?
27.
And 3 times 7. Good. Ooh, this one looks familiar.
20, 21.
Okay, and do I need to bring my 1 down and add it to my answer? No, I already got rid of my 1 when I made 9/7.
Yes.
So 20 21st. Okay, so I think you got that way, don't you? All right. So the only thing different on the other one is that you've got more than 1 whole. That's it. So let's do F and then we'll try the exit ticket. So 8 2/3, is that a 2/3?
Yep.
Okay, minus 3. And take your 5/7 outside of the parentheses. Okay, so 8 minus 3 is what?
5.
5 2/3.
Minus 5, 7.
Okay, and the second fraction is larger, so I'm going to
We're gonna
decompose.
do that bond.
I'm going to borrow 1 from the 5, basically. Okay? So that's going to give me 4 left over. So draw your 3 lines. So that will give me 4 left over that I'm going to add to my answer. And then the one that I borrowed, I'm going to make a fraction. What fraction will I make it?
3/3.
How did you pick 3/3?
Because that's the denominator.
The denominator is 3 and we need it to be 1 whole. So 3/3 plus 2/3. So here's what I have. What's 3 plus 2?
5.
So I have 5/3 minus 5/7. Okay, don't forget to add 4 to your answer. So 21 again? They're kind of making this simple for us, aren't they?
Yeah.
3 times 1 equals 21.
7.
What's 5 times 7?
35.
35. And 7 times 3, 5 times 3 is what?
15.
Okay, 35 minus 15, what is it?
20.
So 4 and 20 21st. Now, if I needed to, could I rewrite 35 minus 15 over here just to make sure
Yes.
I'm subtracting correctly?
Yeah.
Yes, I could. Okay, I'm going to go backwards and let's take a look at the exit ticket. Now, Monday is a lot better than Friday in my opinion.
Yes.
Okay, you've already done number 1, but I want you to do it the new way. So when you do number 1, you're going to decompose. So let me get you started, okay? So 5.5. Actually, boys and girls, I figured out. Let's write it over here. 5.5 minus 1 minus 1/3. Okay, so what is 5 minus 1?
5 minus 1 is 4.
So 4.5 minus 1/3. Wait a minute. 1/2 is more than 1/3.
So you're not gonna have to do nothing.
We don't have to do anything. You
Yes.
just get to find the common denominator. And so yours will look like this. 4 plus 1/2 and 1/3. Okay, you can finish that, can't you? Let's take a look at the next one. And I'm going to scroll just a little bit. Okay, so I have 8 and 3/4 minus 5 minus 5/6. Okay, 8 minus 5, what is it?
3.
So 3 and 3/4 minus 5/6. Now we have that problem. 5/6 is larger than 3/4.
How?
It just is. 5 out of 6 is more than 3 out of 4. Think of a pizza. And if your pizza was cut into 4 pieces or cut into 6 pieces.
No, it's like 12 or 8.
Okay, so to do this, we've got to borrow 1 from the 3, the whole number. So over here, if I borrow 1 from the 3, what do I have left?
2.
Okay, the one I borrowed, let's make 1 whole. 4/4 plus 3/4. Now, what is 4 plus 3?
4 plus 3 is 7.
Okay, so we have 7/4 minus 5/6. Now, I think you can finish it from here, don't you?